If Caitlin Clark is the quote-unquote savior, if she's the golden girl, milk it.
Caitlin Clark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
Reality is knocking on the door of the porta potty. The truth is finally coming to the light. The same light that is going to be dimming here in about 12 hours.
Let's put this in its proper perspective. When I think about Caitlin Clark, the operative word that comes to my mind is gratitude.
In every sports league, a generational talent inevitably emerges, transforming the game and elevating everyone around them. Much like a rising tide lifts all boats. In swimming, it was Michael Phelps. In boxing, Muhammad Ali. And in baseball, Babe Ruth. For women's MMA, Ronda Rousey took the mantle, while Serena Williams dominated women's tennis. During the NBA's darkest days when the league was struggling, it was Larry Bird and Magic Johnson who revitalized it. Then came Michael Jordan, and the NBA transformed from a league on the verge of collapse in the 1970s to a global powerhouse. As we all know, the WNBA has struggled for decades and is often perceived as a league in turmoil. Despite their best efforts, nothing seemed to reverse the downward trend as the league continued to lose millions year after year. Players have consistently voiced their concerns, with many advocating for a fairer revenue-sharing model, not necessarily equal to the NBA's, but a similar percentage of shared revenue. Then, almost as if their prayers had been answered, Caitlin Clark emerged as a potential game-changer for the league.
From merchandising sales to new sponsorships to television ratings absolutely going through the roof to attendance to sellouts at basketball games to all-star games with record attendance both in person and on television, it is safe to say, North America,
Caitlin Clark is no ordinary player. Her game-changing talent, combined with her incredible range and flair on the court, has made her one of the most exciting players in recent history. She's not just a scorer, but a playmaker and leader, qualities that had fans and analysts alike eagerly anticipating her debut in the WNBA. But now, with her potential departure to Europe, the WNBA is left to grapple with the consequences.
However, I hope Kat Engelbert is ready for disappointment because there's a hell of a lot more of it on the way.
And the attention that she brought to a women's league and a women's side, if you will, of the sport is just, I think, hopefully going to have a residual effect for years to come.
Yeah, I think it can't be overstated enough, like what she did to bring eyes to that sport. Whether people want to admit it or not, it's just a fact.
While Europe offers lucrative opportunities for female athletes, the WNBA is struggling to keep pace in a global market. And in Caitlin Clark's case, the league has lost a player who could have redefined women's basketball in America. One of the biggest reasons the WNBA will regret losing Caitlin Clark is the economic impact her presence could have had. The WNBA has been steadily growing its fan base, but it still faces challenges in competing with other sports leagues in terms of attendance and TV viewership. Caitlin Clark's decision to play overseas instead of in the WNBA represents a massive missed opportunity for the league to capitalize on her star power. Historically, the WNBA has seen noticeable spikes in TV viewership and attendance when star players are involved. For instance, during Sabrina Ionescu's rookie season, there was a 68% increase in TV viewership on ESPN broadcasts compared to the previous year. Imagine what Caitlin Clark, who has a larger national following from her time at Iowa, could have done for the league's ratings and in-person attendance. Clark is a player that fans would have paid to see. She has already proven to be a fantasy basketball favorite, and her electrifying style of play could have driven more engagement both in arenas and online. The league has invested heavily in marketing stars like Ionescu and Aja Wilson, but Clark was poised to be the next big thing. Her absence is more than just a loss of talent. It's a blow to the league's revenue streams, especially as the WNBA seeks to close the gap with male-dominated leagues like the NBA. Not only would Clark have had a significant impact on attendance and TV viewership, but she also had the potential to reshape basketball betting markets. Players like Clark attract more bets due to their consistent scoring ability and high-profile presence.
With her WNBA rookie season complete, let's see it. Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history.
But wait, it gets even crazier.
Career 10 or more assists in a game. How about that franchise record for most career 10 or more assists in a game? Fastest WNBA player to reach 100 three-pointers. She did it in 34 games. Most assists by a rookie in a WNBA All-Star game, for which she received the most fan votes ever. 700,000 of those. Fastest player to reach 350 points and 150 assists to start a season, regardless of years in the league.
European leagues will undoubtedly capitalize on this, but the WNBA is left with a void. Beyond the economic consequences, the WNBA will regret losing Caitlin Clark because of what she could have brought to the competitive landscape of the league. Clark's offensive abilities, particularly her deep shooting range and passing skills, have drawn comparisons to some of the greatest shooters in basketball history. Imagine the matchup possibilities. Clark facing off against the league's top guards and forwards. The highlight reels and NBA highlights that would have come from these games would have generated massive buzz, not just among WNBA fans but across the entire basketball community. Clark's departure to Europe also raises concerns about the WNBA's ability to retain top-tier talent. If more players see Europe as a viable alternative to the WNBA, where salaries are higher and opportunities for endorsements are more lucrative, this could shift the balance of power in women's basketball. Europe has always been an attractive destination for top WNBA stars, but losing a player like Clark so early in her career is a troubling sign for the league's future. The WNBA's future will depend on its ability to retain and attract star power. Caitlin Clark, with her long-range shooting, excellent court vision, and magnetic personality, was a player who could have carried the torch for the next generation. While players like Aja Wilson and Breanna Stewart continue to lead the league, the infusion of new talent like Clark would have ensured that the WNBA remained competitive and exciting for years to come. One of the most significant aspects of Caitlin Clark's absence from the WNBA is the missed marketing opportunity. Clark's popularity extends beyond basketball. Her college games at Iowa drew record attendance, and her social media following has made her a favorite for brands looking to reach young, engaged fans. By heading to Europe, the WNBA is losing out on one of the most marketable players the sport has seen in years. Clark had the potential to be the face of the WNBA's future marketing campaigns. With a personality as bold and confident as her playing style, she could have become a global ambassador for the league. The Basketball Shoes Review market was already buzzing about which brand would sign her first. Major companies like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour have all been keeping tabs on her, and her decision to go to Europe has likely shifted those endorsement opportunities overseas. By letting Clark go to Europe, the WNBA is missing out on the chance to grow its fan base and capitalize on her star power. European leagues will likely benefit from the increased exposure she'll bring, while the WNBA will have to rely on existing stars to maintain its momentum. Clark's absence leaves a marketing void that may be difficult to fill, especially as younger fans flock to follow her European career.
Out of the game, because that's the concern now. Wilson with the monstrous block.
Smith, who shot just under 40% from 3 this season. Stewart gets that one to drop.
Another opportunity. Over multiple defenders and off the glass. Wow. Clark launches, nails it.
The departure of Caitlin Clark to Europe has far-reaching implications for the WNBA, and not just for this season. The WNBA has been working hard to carve out its place in the American sports landscape, growing its fan base and improving its attendance and TV viewership numbers. In 2023, the WNBA secured a $2.2 billion media deal, a sign that the league was finally gaining the recognition and financial support it deserved. However, that growth is fragile, and Clark's decision to bypass the WNBA could signal future challenges for the league. Without a doubt, the WNBA has made strides in increasing its visibility, but its future hinges on its ability to attract and retain star talent. Clark, with her widespread appeal, could have helped propel the league to new heights. However, her decision to play in Europe may lead other young players to consider similar moves. If Europe offers higher salaries, better endorsements, and global exposure, why would future stars choose the WNBA? For the WNBA, the challenge goes beyond losing individual talent. It's about maintaining the league's momentum and ensuring that fans remain engaged. In recent years, the league has successfully marketed its stars and elevated their profiles, but the loss of a player like Clark who has the potential to be a generational talent, could create a domino effect. If the league struggles to bring in new faces, it risks stagnation, or worse, declining attendance and TV viewership as fans turn their attention elsewhere. The ripple effect doesn't stop with attendance and TV ratings. Clark's move will also impact other aspects of the basketball ecosystem, including basketball betting, fantasy basketball, and merchandising. Fans and bettors alike were eagerly anticipating Clark's debut in the WNBA, with sportsbooks already setting lines for her rookie season. Now, those bets will shift to European leagues, reducing the financial stake fans have in the WNBA. It's not just about missed bets, it's about losing fans' emotional and financial investment in the league. Similarly, fantasy basketball leagues that had included Clark in their projected top picks will have to adjust. Clark was seen as a top rookie, and many fans had already placed her in their fantasy lineups. Her decision to play overseas means that fantasy players will look elsewhere for their picks, further diluting the WNBA's relevance in these popular sports communities. The WNBA's loss of Caitlin Clark is undoubtedly a setback, but the league is resilient, and there are steps it can take to recover. First and foremost, the WNBA must focus on retaining its current stars and ensuring they continue to shine on the global stage. Players like Aja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu are household names in women's basketball, and they must remain at the forefront of the league's marketing and promotional efforts. Secondly, the WNBA must address the pay disparity that drives players like Clark to consider Europe. While the league has made significant progress in increasing players' salaries, the gap between WNBA and European League earnings remains significant. Closing this gap will be key to retaining top talent and ensuring that young stars see the WNBA as the premier destination for their professional careers. Finally, the WNBA needs to continue its focus on building fan engagement through digital platforms and social media. The rise of fantasy basketball and basketball betting has shown that fans want to feel more connected to the game, not just as spectators but as participants. By creating more interactive experiences for fans and integrating technology that enhances engagement, whether through fantasy leagues, live betting, or virtual training experiences, the WNBA can build stronger relationships with its audience. Now, it's also worth noting that Caitlin Clark's move to Europe could provide the WNBA with a unique opportunity. If Clark returns to the WNBA after gaining international experience, her profile could be even higher. European basketball is renowned for its focus on fundamentals, team play, and tactical intelligence, areas that Clark could further develop overseas. A return to the WNBA as a more polished and experienced player could bring even more excitement and attention to the league. While the WNBA will undoubtedly feel the sting of losing Caitlin Clark to Europe, the league can still learn from this moment and use it as a turning point. By focusing on player retention, closing the salary gap, and continuing to engage fans in innovative ways, the WNBA can ensure that it remains a dominant force in women's basketball, even without its next big star for now. In the end, Caitlin Clark's decision to play in Europe is more than just a personal choice. It's a moment that could reshape the future of women's basketball. The WNBA, a league on the rise, must now confront the realities of losing a player who could have taken it to new heights. As European leagues capitalize on Clark's talents, the WNBA will need to rethink its strategy for retaining top players and keeping fans engaged.
Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Only time will tell whether the WNBA can recover from the loss of Caitlin Clark or if this decision will mark the beginning of a larger trend. What we do know is that the basketball world is watching closely, and wherever Clark plays, fans will follow. Share and subscribe for more basketball content and updates on this evolving story.